Let me tell you, Florida is not gonna let you down on this either. Hey, and welcome back to my channel. I did a video a couple weeks ago about how it is living in America and my personal pros and cons. And I thought I'd take this to a new level and introduce you to my personal pros and cons of living in Florida. One thing Florida is notorious for is the hurricane season, which is 4 months out of the year, starting June, ending in November. It's this season where you have to keep your house just hurricane prepped and make sure you have your pantry stacked, and just in case something happens, you're prepared. It's kind of scary because you never know if and when a hurricane is going to hit, if it's going to hit your city or your county, your house. Are you going to lose anything of your belongings or even family members or friends? So it's a really weird feeling in those month, but it's also part of living in Florida and you're getting used to it. One thing I'm still not really a fan of are the afternoon showers, which are very common too. In the summer, every afternoon it would rain pretty hard, which is kind of nice because it's cooling down a little, but still it's involving lots of lightning, and it can be scary at times because it's not just a nice little shower. No, it's pretty hard rainfalls. The animals, critters, big and small, probably just because I'm not too familiar with them growing up in a country where we didn't really have anything that's venomous to us. But you'll always come across cockroaches, snakes, alligators, or owls. Talking about cockroaches, you're probably going to come across them quite often here in Florida, and it doesn't have to mean that that specific area is dirty or trashed, because you also find them indoors a lot, even though your house is kept clean, or you even spray your house with an insect barrier that repels cockroaches, ants, and other bugs. My general rule is to always keep a safe distance. I mean, not to cockroaches, they don't really harm me, but things like alligators and snakes. Survival guide. If you're ever trying to run away from an alligator, I really don't wish this upon you, but in case this ever happens to you, go in zigzag movements, because they're going to be slow doing the zigzag movements, following you along instead of running a straight line. We all know America is bigger, better, whatever, and let me tell you, Florida is not gonna let you down on this either, because even the bugs are gigantic here, and if you get bitten by mosquitoes, it hurts. So always make sure to spray yourself with mosquito repellent or anything like that, or just deal with the fact that you're sweet and they just like your blood. Another thing that is positive for the economy, but not so well if you're just trying to visit your local beach and be by yourself. Florida attracts a lot of tourists, so that is great for everybody having a business here or just creating job opportunities in general. But also don't expect to go to your favorite lunch spot, or I don't know, the theme parks, obviously, but also your favorite little beach. You will always have tourists running around, especially in times of spring break, summer break, or other holidays. I'm actually adding a new kind of category to it because I couldn't decide if those are cons or pros, so I'll just go ahead and name them prawns. So these categories kind of depend on how your mind is set or how your values are. So Florida attracts snowbirds. Those are the people that travel south in the winter month just to stay warm and have a nice warm winter, and I'll get to that later, but that's what you'll have in Florida for sure. Florida is just so mellow. Everything is very slow here, and it can always be done tomorrow. There's no rush on anything. The lifestyle is very different, and it's kind of this very slow island lifestyle. Not saying that everybody's like that. Of course, there's companies and also people that are very fast-paced, but in general, I would say the majority is very just calm and relaxed, and yeah, what you'd imagine from some sort of tropical place, I guess. It's kind of vacation-y and everybody's just in a good mood, and yeah, I kind of like that. I really hate to talk about politics, but Florida is a red state. You won't see that so much in big cities, but yeah, depending on your political choice, something you might consider about moving to Florida and the people that you'll be surrounded by. I'll be the most unfashionable YouTuber here ever because Florida is just so hot. All I'm wearing is big shirts. Yeah, and I don't even take the time to blow dry my hair. In fact, I don't even own a blow dryer, but the humidity is so hot here, it just doesn't make sense to style your hair. I'm not really spending any time on doing some beauty stuff, as you can see. But some people might like getting their hair done and then be disappointed if everything was for nothing just because of the humidity. If you're still watching, good for you. Let's move on to the positive side of things. Yes, we're there finally. Florida is also known as the Sunshine State, and that is so true because if you're living here, you'll have sunshine year-round, and that's what I absolutely love about Florida. So I'm originally from Germany, and I feel like the winter months really play with your mental health. Living in Florida and having sun year-round doesn't only help you to grow vegetables or flowers or whatever outside, but also for your own health to thrive, because the sun is doing so much for your mental state of mind that I feel like I never really get winter depression here, whereas I kind of got depressed after 4 months of pretty much not seeing the sun in Germany. Believe it or not, there is so much Florida has to offer besides all the theme parks in Orlando and stuff, you know. Nature-wise, there are hot springs, Everglades, coral reef parks, beautiful beaches. So in case you're into any sorts of water sports or just, you know, sports like riding your bike, anything but hiking and snow stuff, because you don't have snow here. Yeah, it's the place to be, I guess. If you're into any sorts of water sports, this might scare you because Florida is actually among, or it might actually be, hold on, alright, I did a little research. The stats might be a little outdated, but I don't think that anybody will come close to the ranking of Florida. So Florida is apparently the top state with the most shark bites in the whole US, with over 800 shark bites since 1837. So that's quite a lot of shark bites, and it's kind of scary, but honestly I would be more scared if there'd be no sharks in these waters at all. That's actually what we should be scared about. So yeah, and I think it's still less likely to be bitten by a shark, maybe not in Florida, but to be hit by lightning. Alright, last but not least, this is for everybody really considering to move to Florida, because as a resident you have a lot of benefits. One of them is that you have no state income tax, so that's kind of nice. And another thing is that Florida residents are getting discounts on local attractions and, for example, the theme parks in and around Orlando. In case you enjoy any kind of magic or wizardry or you name it, this might be the place for you. If you consider either traveling to Florida or moving here, I think it's a great place to visit. It has so much to offer, and although I named a couple of cons and my new category, you can make up your mind if you're going to like it or not. I personally love Florida, especially because of the sun, and it just always keeps me so happy, and I'm very grateful to be living here, especially so close to the beaches. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell, and let me know if you've ever considered traveling to Florida, if you've been, and I'll see you around next time.